Hello and welcome back to the Crafty Cupboard. I'm Leanne and it's lovely to have you here as we stitch a daisy in the slow stitch formula. We're using the same stitches that we've used in the past, but now making bigger flowers with them. I am simply using lazy daisy stitches for the leaves, but the difference here is that they're very big and long stitches and I'm doing it twice. So just like we've learnt before in the other videos, you come up, capture the thread around the outside, and then go down. And I'm going to come up again now around the outside of that, sort of giving the petal more substance. So up we come, make a little loop sitting on top of the fabric, come back down at the base here, emerge at the tip of the petal, and pull it just firmly enough to make it sit nicely, and then take our needle through to the back. So the little stitch we're making captures that loop. And there is our petal for the lazy daisy. We'll do it again so you can see again. Now how many petals you put in here is completely up to you. What I tend to do when I'm transferring the design to my piece is just draw a line down the center of each petal, rather than the full petal detail. And then I just, to make my stitches fit over that line. Time for the leaf, and this is fly stitch. So first of all, I'm taking one little straight stitch. You can see today I've completed most of the flower already, and I'm finishing it with you to see what I did. So we emerge a little bit below the end and off to the side of that straight stitch that we took. We go over to the other side. My thumb is holding the thread down. I emerge at the base of my straight stitch, gently pull, and take a little stitch, a little straight stitch down to anchor it. Now, how long that straight stitch is will dictate how big a gap there is. So today I'm doing quite a solid leaf. You can certainly leave a bigger gap in between the fly stitches if you wish by taking a longer straight stitch. So once again, just emerging up, I'm going back down either side of what I've already stitched. Emerge at the base, gently pull, take a little straight stitch. So we're making sort of the letter Y shape, all stacked on top of one another. This is a great way to do leaves. I remember in the past when I've stitched daisies on a piece of fabric, and I think it was Sandra. Was it you, Sandra, that said that you love daisies? So I was thinking of you when I stitched this today. Aren't they such happy, happy flowers? Not sure if you could hear that. That was an ibis outside my window flying past. It sounded like a goose. I don't think I've ever heard them make a noise before. So you can make your leaf as narrow or as wide as you like. I've gone quite narrow today to fit in between the petals. To make it wider, you simply, take your stitch, you emerge your thread further out, further away from the center, and then go in further away from the center, sort of spreading out the width of the stitch. Thank you so much to everyone who's been joining in the Slow Stitch with me, the Slow Stitch Formula series. It's really lovely to have you here, and I really appreciate all your comments and your gratitude for the patterns. I hope that they're helpful for you. The idea of slow stitch honestly is that you just get in and have a go, and patterns etc. aren't necessary. But I do know that sometimes when we're feeling a little overwhelmed or a bit hesitant about where to start, just that little nudge, that little guidance can help us get going. So I hope you're enjoying the patterns and that they're giving you the confidence to get in. And of course, once we've developed our skills, once we've done things, you know, a number of times, then I think that's when the real confidence develops, doesn't it, to just try something on our own. So I just need one more stitch on this side because there's a bit of a gap there, so I just simply did a straight stitch. And now I'm coming up from the base near the centre of the flower, just connecting the leaf so that it makes sense. There we have it. Righto, let's get our centre filled in. So I've already done most of the centre. Now I've just used one colour yellow here too, but when we look at a real daisy, we can see sort of, you know, the different shades of gold and yellow. So if you've got more than one colour yellow and want to, feel free to do, you know, a little difference in the centre there in your colours. But I think it still looks equally lovely as one colour of French knots. So remember, with the French knot, wrap it. I'm doing 3 wraps. My finger holds it. Put it through the fabric. Hang on to that thread. Hang on to it. Let go at the last minute. And that's what gives you a nice, neat knot. So there we go. Daisy petals finished. Leaves finished. The lovely centre finished. Let's get swirling. This is where we started in the slow stitch formula, isn't it? So we're just doing backstitch swirls here, just to add a little bit of interest to the picture, a little bit of indication of movement and frothiness, because the daisy leaves really are quite sort of frothy, aren't they, when you look at them individually and how they move about in the breeze. So simple backstitch here to make that swirl design. So you come up a little bit ahead, go back into the hole left by the previous stitch, come a little bit forward, go back. Isn't it so satisfying to see things emerge when you've just been sitting here with some needle and thread and all of a sudden you've got a pretty picture? I've had a poll running to see what you would prefer more of in the Slow Stitch Formula series, and I can see that abstract designs are not the thing you're after. People have asked for flowers and piecing fabrics together, or all of the above actually. So all of the above is the overwhelming front runner in that poll at the moment. So I'm thrilled that you want to see more flowers, because that's what I'm obsessed with, what I love making. There we go. So easy just to add a little bit of prettiness to the piece and indicate some movement and lightness. So the little buds I'm doing in pink, and again just with a 3-wrap French knot like we did before. I'm using 3 strands of the stranded cotton for these, just so they stand out really nicely. When you look at the little buds on the bush, they do sort of appear slightly pink, so I've just decided to exaggerate that and add some pretty colour to this piece. There we have it, the finished stitchery, ready to slow stitch with. So I have this gorgeous doily look, sadly not in its best condition. So it's going to be the frame for my daisy, and in fact I designed the daisy as a circular piece to deliberately go on the center of this doily and to hide those pieces that are no longer attached. True to slow stitch, I am just going to keep this as a raw edge. Okay, all cut out. So first of all, I'm going to attach the doily down just using normal everyday sewing machine thread. Just taking tiny little stitches here and there over the stitches of the doily just to anchor it into position. I'm not really worried about how far apart the stitches are or how big the stitches are. The stitches are quite tiny actually. But there's a fair gap in between my stitches. This is a good activity to do when you're feeling a bit tired and you don't have to think too hard. That's what it looks like on the back, so you can see what I mean about the gap between. Running stitch our piece on top now. So I'm here doing the stabbing method where you just stab and pull through. This gives you quite a lot of control. You can easily see, because you're doing one stitch at a time, the stitch length. You can take your time about where to put your needle and how far apart. That one's finished. I'm going to add a running stitch border around the outside. This is the other way that you can do a running stitch, just gathering it all up onto the needle. So it is slightly faster way of doing things. Just gather it all up on the needle, pleating the fabric back and forth. And when you've got enough that you think you can't hang on to anymore, just pull it through. Ease the fabric out. Ta-da! Well, there we have it, a finished daisy patch. So the pattern for this one also included the wild rose from last time. And coming up soon, I will have a video to show you how to make the forget-me-not posy, which is also in this same downloadable pattern. The link's in the video description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. What's delighted me? Look at the sun streaming through this exquisite vase and my beautiful blue moon rose. And I was absolutely delighted in a recent trip to the Adelaide Hills to visit the Cedars, home of Hans Hyson, and see all these materials laid out and look at that exquisite little sewing corner. He's done a beautiful painting of his wife sitting and sewing there.